having another craft meeting. It's coming a couple weeks earlier than planned, but we got it together and we're gonna do it. And what we are making is we are going to make these little banners with whatever phrase you chose. I'm gonna walk you through it and hope that you aren't intimidated. We try to make this as easy as possible. And I made quite a bit so I can hopefully give tips to help. If you are virtual, your kit looks like this. And then for those in person, you have your tray as well. And then all of your little tools and supplies that you need are in some type of wrapped up piece of paper. I got better at it as I went along, so sorry for those first ones. In your kit, you will have a little cup of paint, and I know it doesn't look like much, but it is plenty. And then you'll have a pencil, your paintbrush, and I tried my best to go through and pick all the ones that weren't great, but you might still double check, make sure there's no little hairs sticking out anywhere, but if there are, you can just trim them off. You just don't want anything poking out. You'll have 2 toothpicks, you'll have a paper towel, a popsicle stick, a wood dowel, your string to attach to your wood dowel when you're done, and then you'll have your piece of canvas. Now, we're on a budget and we figured out how we were gonna do this. This is from drop cloth and we cut these out. Hopefully it does not fray on you. We went through with this product called Fray Block. That should help prevent it from fraying, but if not, you can kind of trim it up. Clear nail polish might help or something if you do find any, or if I accidentally missed some, I'm sorry. Lauren did that and then gave me some to do, and then I accidentally mixed them all up, so I apologize. And then, and Lauren also sewed these for us to put in our seam to hold our dowel. And then if this is something that you like and you wanna make again, I will be posting the supply list again. I mean, I don't know if you wanna make a bulk amount. Our supplies were based on that, but I'm sure you could find that. But the paint that we chose, I do feel like this is important because it really is helpful, and it's this Fabric Creations soft fabric ink. And it's good because it's thin and it doesn't bleed, and it's perfect for getting these nice, straight, tight lines. I don't know if that's what you call it. But on your tray, we have your fabric. I already taped it down for you, and behind your paper is carbon paper. I will walk through that, speed it up. You don't need to watch me do that whole thing slowly. But when you are done and you pull this off, you're gonna wanna be careful to not let the carbon paper slide across your fabric. I did tape the carbon paper to your paper, so hopefully you can just pull it all up at once, because it will rub off and it's kind of annoying to try and get off. And when you do pull off, make sure you're just taking the tape off that's attached to your paper, not the top and bottom ones that are holding your fabric down, because you're going to want to keep that all straight so it's not moving on you while you paint. So I will get started with that and I'll take you through the steps, okay? Okay, so first, when you are going through and doing your pattern, you are going to want to really go pretty hard on those lines. And I also recommend sticking to the outer edges of it when you're doing it, okay? Don't focus on where you're doing it so that your lines are straight. And so one trick that I have is you will use the popsicle stick. The popsicle stick will help you keep these lines straight when you can. You know, doing like O's and things like that, it can be a little bit easier to kind of go around and get an idea for that circle. But, you know, sometimes with straight lines, it can be kind of hard. Also, where it's helpful is to make sure that when you are doing those straight lines, and when you lay it out like this, and you can go through and do all across the tops and the bottoms and kind of move down through there, and it kind of just helps speed the process up along. So all right, well, I didn't even listen to my own little tip the whole time about the popsicle stick. But, so some of my letters maybe came out a little wonky. I just realized I didn't tape this up right for myself. But then, just kind of gently peel back, and you can kind of see, oh my goodness. I had my carbon paper upside down, so it's not on there. And I'll come up with something else here, but don't do that. I didn't do it to yours. I'm pretty positive. So. All right. Well, I think, all right, new plan. I got a scrap piece of fabric. I did not want to retrace that holding right now. I'll be honest, I've done a couple of these. Didn't honestly want to do the holding anyway. So, I am going to do one word on a piece that my son spilled something on, and I can show you the little tips that I have. All right, so here we go. You have 2 toothpicks. One you can use to kind of, you want to get this all stirred up because there's some type of components in there that make it better for the fabric. And then I recommend using a toothpick for doing your lines. It'll help you get them a little bit straighter than you can with the brush. I'll show you with the brush too. There are times where it's fine with the brush, but sometimes the toothpick definitely helps. And you kind of just tap it, rub it, poke it in like that. Okay. So that's doing it with this straight line. Now I'll show you. It's definitely helpful when you have these rounded lines. You don't need a lot on there. I kind of trying to do this one-handed. You kind of drag it, almost like a pin. Okay, and you can also kind of dab it in. Okay, just going to show you an example of these different lines, how it can kind of help. Whoop. See, I got too much on my toothpick that time. So that's not good because then it kind of can drag out weird. And if you do, you can just kind of spread it if you get too much on there, but. And then the brown paper bag, or the paper that you have that your stuff came in, if you want, you can kind of try practicing on there if you want. I mean, it's not necessarily going to go on the same, but if you feel like you need to get comfortable with holding the toothpick or the paintbrush, you could do it on there. Yeah, see, I made that too thick right there. Okay, well, now I'm going to show you how you can do it with the paintbrush too on the straight lines. And that is, we got the flathead brush, and you can just kind of tap it and drag a little bit. Just kind of gently do it like that. Okay? And again, you don't need that much on there. Just kind of dabbing it to fill it in. Hopefully those are good tips that can help you, but when you do trace with the carbon, make sure to really go over the lines pretty well and dig in like you are. I don't know if you can see how I did this, but you can feel all of that from how hard I was pressing in. You'll really want to go over it. I really do recommend using the popsicle stick. When I was doing it, I was forgetting in some areas because you just kind of get to going, and I was flubbing up some of the numbers or letters. Toothpicks, very helpful on the painting. Getting those little edges, dab it in, poke it in. I will share a time-lapse sped up video of this one that I did, and hopefully you might kind of be able to gather how to properly do it better than I'm explaining right now. But okay, if you do have any questions, I will try to be available on Facebook the night of the meeting if you have anything you need to ask. Oh, and maybe I should finish this tutorial. So after you are done, make sure it's dry. I don't think it takes terribly too long. But then you will put your wood dowel in here, and then you will tie this on here however you like.
I hope that this is somewhat helpful, and I hope you have fun.